A Daily Mail investigation says that we are the global capital of fraud, with almost £3 billion lost every single year to scam artists. 40 million Brits are apparently targeted annually. Are you one of them? I've got to say, these scammers, they are incredibly sophisticated, aren't they? It really is tricky sometimes to decipher what is a genuine request for your details and what is fraudulent. Dana, do you think we do enough? Do we take fraud seriously in this country?
Well, I think a lot of people are really uninformed about what's actually happening. You can actually find out a little bit more about a lot of these. There's guys who work on YouTube called Scammer Payback. I can't remember his name. I think it's Pierogi or something like that, who actually go after these call centers in places like New Delhi and things like that. And you have to know that these people are probably targeting Britain because of the strength of its currency. But also we have an aging population, and they tend to kind of find out what your age is. So a lot of the time, if you get like a data collection, for example, what is your name? Is this your house? We're the council. We're going to come by with some repairs or whatever like that. People fish for data, and then they'll use that against you, and they'll target you saying you haven't paid enough tax. They'll target you saying we have a refund that we're going to give you for an Amazon product that you didn't buy. All sorts of things to get your details. And don't ever, anytime that somebody calls you that you don't know, what you need to do is you need to get on the internet and you need to find out where that number is from by doing a reverse lookup.
Dominique?
Yeah, I've actually had experience with fraud. It's probably my fault for being stupid, but they're really prevalent on Snapchat. So there are these celebrities, these influencers that promote these Snapchat accounts or these Instagram accounts that promise that if you invest this amount of money, you'll get this amount of money back in return. So when I was in, I think it was my first year of university, I did that with an amount of money, and surprise, surprise, I didn't get the money back. I felt ridiculous and stupid.
You lost it all?
Yeah, but luckily, actually, I didn't think I would, but my bank actually refunded me the money. I explained what had happened, that I'd obviously been defrauded, and my bank is a good one because I actually received the money back. So it is a problem. It's happened to me loads of times. I don't know where my number is, but I get texts a lot of the time, and recently I even got a weird call from someone even trying to get my details. Luckily, I realised who it was and put the phone down. But this is actually a really big problem, and doing reading on this, I didn't realise the scale of it, to be honest.
Yeah, one of the things I think is really peculiar, Mark, I'm sure we've all had this, is when you get a phone call from, I don't know, let's just pick a random company, American Express, and I'm not picking on American Express, I'm just using it as an example. They'll say, oh, hello, is that Michelle Dewbs? Yes. Right, before I proceed, can I take some of your details? Sorry? Well, you know, your date of birth, you're this, you're that. No, I have no idea who you are. You just called me out of the blue. What is it? Yes, but until you identify yourself, we can't proceed with a call. Well, I don't want the call. You called me. And I found that such a strange notion.
It's framed as a security check, even when it's the legitimate company. And actually, it is, unfortunately, these people are fraudsters are very, very clever in terms of spotting these kind of human behaviours that you can play on, as a psychological game, in order to scam people. I've got to say credit to Dominic for talking about your own experience on this.
Yeah.
One of the things that a huge amount of this figure is hidden below the waterline because people understandably do feel really embarrassed about it. Even to there's a neighbour of ours who lives with her elderly mother who isn't very well. Who had somebody ring up and say that they were the phone company, and there was this kind of issue with her phone line, and then they came to her door, and then they took her in a car to a cash point, take money out, and she was too ashamed. Obviously, she realised what had happened. She was too ashamed and also frightened because they knew where she lived to talk about this. I've got to say, unfortunately, we're going to see, I expect, an even more rapid rise in online frauds and computer hijacking, not least, of course, because some of this is also state-sponsored. And actually, Russia has increasingly made this a state-sponsored industry, where effectively the Kremlin now has because it has a cash flow problem for external currencies, has basically made a deal with organised crime that it will turn a blind eye in return for a cut of the profits. And so I think we're going to see more of this used as an economic weapon, as well as something that just simply takes place in organised crime.
Well, David's been in touch. So, Michelle, I can't believe anyone falls for the tricksters. I would always tell them to write to me, then I would check personally. I think you'd be surprised, actually, David, because some of these scams, they are incredibly sophisticated. And it's not everything, I guess, that you can ask them to write to you, but it's certainly one tactic. to get people to do that, see whether or not it works. Have you been a victim of fraud, by the way? If you have, tell me.